I mean, what's a Christmas dish but steak, right? There's no way I'm making fried chicken.
My sister-in-law Olivia was sarcastic when she saw the fried chicken I had worked so hard to prepare. I had prepared fried chicken for Olivia's children because they were still small and I wanted them to be able to eat it too. She said,
You don't have kids, so you don't know anything about kids. Don't force yourself on me and show that you know what you're talking about. You're really useless. Hurry up and get me a steak, old hag.
When she said that much, I felt like I had reached my limit, and the things I had been holding back began to well up inside me. I couldn't hold back any longer. This is where my revenge drama began. My name is Emma. I am 30 years old. I married my husband, Will, through a workplace romance, and we have been married for 5 years. We don't have a child yet, but I think it's a blessing. I was a little impatient considering my age and sometimes got upset by the words of those around me, but now I am working hard to save money and will think seriously about it in a little while. Will and I were just talking about how nice it would be if we could do it someday, and that was about as far as I was willing to go. But my sister-in-law, Olivia, had a problem with that. Olivia was very sarcastic about the fact that we didn't have children. She said,
Sister-in-law, if you don't have a baby soon, you'll end up having a baby at an older age. Even though you got married in our 20s.
Olivia has no sense of delicacy. I felt depressed when I thought of Olivia, but I managed to keep my mind positive as I went to the convenience store during my lunch break from work. I was in the convenience store on my lunch break, but I managed to stay upbeat.
It's unusual for you to buy that many sweets.
My coworker, who loves sweets, peeked at me from behind. I usually buy sweets for my nephews at the supermarket. My brother-in-law and his family are coming for another weekend, so I thought I'd buy something different for them.
Well, convenience stores are always coming out with new and tasty products. How old are they?
5, 4, and 2.
Oh, so you have 3. Well, we'll have to buy a lot.
Well, I guess so. He must have read between the lines of my answer, because he suggested some cheap snacks from a convenience store brand, as if to say, that's all you need. Yes, the couple gets along well, but this brother-in-law and his wife are slowly becoming a source of frustration for me. Will has a younger brother, Henry, who is 5 years younger than me, and he and his wife Olivia have 3 children. Olivia has started bringing her 3 children to visit every weekend. Olivia doesn't bring snacks, food, or drinks every time she comes to visit, so I prepare everything. She says,
Oh no, sister-in-law, you knew we were coming, so please have it ready for me.
What?
The children will starve to death.
They're going to starve to death? Then why don't you just bring some with you? I was about to say,
I see, you didn't know that small children can't eat these sweets. You don't have kids yet.
She said this to me in a disdainful manner. After Olivia's sarcastic remarks, I started asking my coworkers who have children what kinds of sweets their children eat and started researching on the internet. Now I have a pretty good assortment of kids' snacks even though I don't have kids. But here comes the hard part. My nephews and nieces are cute and cuddly, but they walk around while eating and touch various places with their sticky hands. So I had to change the carpets to cheaper ones and clean up after the kids left. However, Olivia never once tried to help me with this situation. Basically, Olivia does nothing when she comes home. She lets the children run wild, while she sits smack dab on the couch and elegantly watches movies on her phone. Recently, she has even gone out while leaving her children with me. At first I thought it was okay to watch her for a little while, as I knew she was having a hard time raising her children, but it was also annoying to come every week, and the 2-year-old would cry for her mother, which was hard to do. Once I even asked her not to leave for long periods of time because it was not safe or responsible. She said,
You have a good income. It's just a rehearsal for when you have a child someday. You can't raise a child like that, complaining about seeing her once a week.
I said, I'm just saying it's a shame that they cry. I couldn't help but object to her attitude as if she were making fun of me. I was surprised at her ridiculous attitude, but she replied,
No, don't you see that it's wrong to let them cry? Try not to make them cry.
She then went on to call me a useless person. Then, perhaps thinking that I would no longer complain and that I had agreed, Olivia's attitude escalated further after that. She said,
You both work and have no children, so it's nice that you get to live in such a nice house. It's hard for us to find a place to take care of our kids, and we have 3 of our own. We can spend our time and money on just us. Plus, Olivia, who says she has no money but doesn't work, would waste it if she had an extra room.
And she even brought the children's toys into one room that she had opened for their future use. It's too much trouble to bring them in every time. Well, it's too small to put it in our room, but wouldn't it be nice to have an indoor jungle gym or something like that? Maybe I'll have Henry buy one for my upcoming birthday. I was indeed getting tired of this situation and wanted to change it. I talked to Will about how hard it was to take care of the kids, but he didn't give me the reply I thought he would.
It's nice and lively, though. Kids' laughter? That's cute. You don't hate kids, do you?
Then he started asking what I was complaining about rather than taking my side. Rather, he said,
You don't like kids. And he said it as if it was my fault. And that's as it should be. After Olivia and her friends came over and played with the kids for a little while, he said, It's more fun with just the ladies. I'll be going now.
And then she would go to her room or go out. I mentioned that Olivia would go out, but after I told him that she should help out a little since she sees them alone every day.
Besides, it would be good practice for when we have our own baby.
I was astonished when he finally said that. I couldn't believe that even Will had said that. I couldn't say anything more.
Brothers are alike.
Will was concerned about my gloomy face and took me to his favorite restaurant to eat something delicious. But I was filled with a blurred feeling of no, this isn't right. In the midst of these days, my mother-in-law called me about Christmas. It was a phone call to make plans for the annual family get-together at Christmas and New Year's, and the kids were supposed to prepare the food for Christmas.
It's been a long time. How have you been?
Oh,
What's wrong? Are you sick?
I'm fine. It's about Christmas, isn't it? I'll make it just like last year.
You sure? Are you sure you're okay? If you're busy with work, don't be too hard on yourself. I know I'm spoiled because you guys suggested it, but we have a lot more time than a young couple.
Yes. This rule was established when we got married in the first place. Last year, I cooked the food, and my brother-in-law's family took care of the drinks and desserts. When the whole family gets together, the cost of food is ridiculous. The idea was to lighten the burden on the parents as much as possible, so the children would bear the burden of the Christmas meal. I'm going to come up with something that both adults and children can enjoy. Please look forward to it. I knew I mustn't cause trouble, and I mustn't say anything strange. I answered in as cheerful a voice as possible.
Speaking of children, I asked my grandchildren. Olivia and the kids seem to be visiting you often. Thank you very much. Emma tends to work too hard. Let me know if you need anything.
Thank you very much. I have to take care of something now. With that, I hung up the phone. I didn't want to hear any more about Olivia and her family. I didn't want to think about Olivia as much as possible, but one day Olivia called me out of the blue. She said,
Excuse me, sister-in-law, can I ask you to do everything for me this Christmas? My youngest is still out of diapers, and the diaper bill is getting expensive.
I was to prepare all the food, drinks, and snacks for this Christmas. I was determined to make it happen. I was going to make sure everything was perfect, and Olivia was going to be amazed. I thought about what kind of food the kids could eat, what the adults could enjoy, and what would be good as snacks. So I decided to bring fried chicken for the 2- and 4-year-olds and roast beef for the adults and the 5-year-old. The roast beef would be a favorite of the kids and I think they would enjoy it. It wouldn't take too long to prepare, so I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But just to be on the safe side, I prepared not only the roast beef but also teriyaki-style meat, avocado dip, tuna, and other side dishes.
Good morning. You're up already.
Yes. He must have felt a sense of discomfort when he saw me continuing with the preparations. He said,
Hey, are you all right? I don't know how to say this, but
I'm fine. Why are you asking me if I'm okay? When I thought about it, my answer became a little stronger.
I hope it's all right, but thanks for the food. Oh wow, this looks delicious.
He peeked at the food I was bringing and gave his impressions, and then quickly turned on the TV and began to eat the breakfast I had already prepared. I was struck with an indescribable sense of loneliness at the sight of Will watching TV and eating slowly, as if he was trying to cover up the fact that the air quality was bad. After we managed to finish the preparations, we got ready and headed for my in-laws' house. We were greeted warmly by my in-laws. I said to them, "We're here."
Oh my goodness, you must have gone through so much hard work. I'm looking forward to it.
My mother-in-law looked at the bag of food we were carrying and said, "I'm looking forward to it. I've prepared the food, so for the first time in a long time, I can talk to my mother-in-law and spend some time with her." I was hoping that this feeling of bother might disappear if we chatted happily. I had such expectations. But just as I was thinking that, the front door, which was supposed to be closed, opened.
I'm home. Oh, no, more like I'm here. Oh, mother, it's been a while.
Soon after, my brother-in-law and his family arrived. When I went to the living room with a blur, the men started talking at the big table in the guest room. Olivia sat in front of the TV, which was in a blind spot from where I was, and the children started running and playing. My mother-in-law was busy preparing drinks and taking the food I brought to the kitchen, and I tried to help her, but she was very considerate and told me to sit down since she was going to prepare the food. However, Olivia would not watch the kids, and I was left alone to deal with the 3 of them. Olivia was even wearing earphones and playing with her phone. At first she was sitting up, but then she relaxed more and finally she was laying down. Henry said,
Hey, are the kids all right?
Henry, who was concerned about us, asked.
She said, "No, they're fine. Just take your time talking. I'm having a good time with my sister-in-law."
I told him that, and then I looked at Olivia, who was lying down and not even looking at the kids, and I couldn't help but notice that she was staring at me. She said,
"Ew, you look so scary. You shouldn't do that because you look and you look even more like a depressed person. Are you free? Oh, you were just in time. Bring me something to drink."
I'm not going to leave her to take care of the kids and then ask her if she's free. I don't think so. I thought it was earlier than the meal time to ignore her, but I decided to prepare the food, thinking that half an hour with the children would be enough. My mother-in-law seemed to be enjoying chatting with her sons as she took a break, so I got her permission to use the kitchen and headed in there by myself. Then Olivia came over to me and said,
"Sister-in-law, I'm sorry I asked you to do everything this time. Thank you so much. Bo, I'm so hungry. I think I'll grab something to eat."
She suddenly opened the refrigerator and started checking the food I had brought. "I don't think you should be snacking." I chided Olivia and went to make roast beef, to which she complained in surprise.
"What's this?"
I was going to make roast beef.
"Roast beef?"
Yeah, and the kids can eat it, too.
Are you serious? It's Christmas. Christmas means steak.
When my in-laws prepared for us, we often had steak along with my mother-in-law's cooking.
Roast beef is just a lazy dish,
She said.
Bai was looking forward to it, but she really is a useless old hag. I guess I should have said so.
She put her hand on my forehead and made fun of me. I said, "Oh, no, but the kids can't eat just regular meat." When I counted, she became even more sarcastic, probably because it was rare.
You don't know anything about children. You should have just prepared steak for the adults. You're really useless.
When she said that, I felt like I had reached my limit, and the things I had been holding back began to well up inside me. I began to put the meat I had been serving and the specific values I had worked so hard to prepare back into the pack halfway violently.
What? Oh no? Have you lost your mind?
Olivia must have thought my behavior was bizarre, because just as she said this, my mother-in-law came into the kitchen and said to me,
Emma, I'm going to help you.
I looked at my mother-in-law as she came in. I said, "I'm going home. I'm sorry." She said,
What's wrong? Why are you leaving?
My mother-in-law seemed to sense that something was wrong with me, but she was puzzled. Olivia doesn't like this and wanted me to order a steak. She probably doesn't even want the food, so I'm taking it home. I guess I was speaking so loudly that Will heard me, and he called out to me as if he was worried.
What's wrong?
As if to answer Will's question, I found myself this time sharing my feelings with him. What's wrong? Huh? She wants to eat only the finest steak, not the food I've been working so hard since yesterday to prepare. I'm trying to do my best, but Olivia leaves the kids for half a day every week, brings tons of toys into the room she cares so much about for our kids, and wrecks the house. Vi said this with tears in my eyes as I held back from crying, and there was a scene all around me. Vi didn't want them to see me cry. As I was about to leave, my mother-in-law was the first to open her mouth. She said,
Olivia didn't like Emma's cooking. Didn't you two prepare it together? Didn't I give you some money last week to add to it and to discuss it with Emma?
Olivia's mother-in-law, who always had a kind face, glared at Olivia. Olivia jerked, her face pale. We get all the food out of our house, you know. Olivia says she has to pay for diapers. She must have felt she had to do something. Olivia opened her mouth, but seemed at a loss for words and fell silent. In the midst of the scene, I heard the children's voices. Apparently, they had found the candy I had brought for the kids.
Wow. They always give us delicious sweets. You always give me the best ones.
What, always? Wait a minute.
Henry's voice was heard and the children came into the kitchen.
Emma, thank you for everything.
Yeah? Did Em always give you candy?
Yes.
They said cheerfully and went back to the living room where my father-in-law would be. They come to our house every week, so I've learned what the kids like. Olivia would get sick of me if I bought her anything strange, and I've become very knowledgeable about the kids' snacks, even though I don't have kids. Henry was surprised when I said this.
You were always going to Emma's and your brother's house? You said you were going to visit a friend.
She'd come over in the morning, eat lunch, have some snacks, and if things got too bad, she'd even eat dinner.
I didn't know. Why didn't you tell me?
Henry asked Will.
I can't believe you were such a nuisance.
Will was having so much fun with the kids' laughter. He was in his room where he could only hear their voices, or he was out and about, so he didn't know. He said it was good practice for when he had kids someday.
Oh, that's...
I won't be coming back for Christmas or New Year's. And if I do, I'll be coming back separately from Olivia and the kids. I'm not going to let Olivia take advantage of me anymore.
Emma.
I'm sorry.
Olivia, what the hell is going on? Have you been lying to me?
You told me that you and Emma were going to set things up. That's why I left the money with you. You were lying.
It's probably because the two of you accused me of lying, and you want to cover it up somehow.
I was going to give it to Emma, but we need it. We have 3 kids, We're a family, so I thought we should help each other.
I thought it would be a good idea to help each other out. But no one responded. Olivia was a little joking, and Henry was a little taken aback.
You're lying and embezzling money like a criminal. What other lies have you told me? You're going to tell me everything.
Olivia half cried and told me why she had been harassing me. She said,
Because she gets along with your mother like a real mother and daughter, and I got married before you did. And now that the kids are born, I can't rely on Henry, who's busy, and I'm trying to make it on my own. And everyone is praising your sister-in-law, and I'm sick of it.
Henry, who was watching the situation, said,
I'm sorry I left you in charge because I was too busy working. But do you know how much your selfish jealousy hurt Emma? Let's go home today. Tell me the truth about everything first, and then apologize.
The normally mild-mannered Henry's impetuousness got the better of him.
I'm sorry,
Olivia said. Henry said he would go back and apologize again, and then he took Olivia and the children home.
I thought Emma and Olivia were great, and I wanted to thank them.
My mother-in-law said sadly, but she broke the bad mood. Then let's eat the food. With that, I went to work on the roast beef. And then to Will. A husband who doesn't listen to his wife is useless. Be diligent. With that, I patted him on the back. Will looked at me with a serious face.
I'm really sorry. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
He put his hand on my shoulder. I guess I had been moving around all morning, making loud noises, which I rarely do. It was a very nice scene, and when my stomach made a loud noise, we both blubbered and our smiles returned. Later that day, Olivia told me that Henry had asked her for a divorce. Henry was also busy with work and felt responsible for leaving me in charge, but apparently he had been going to casinos and spending time in bars from noon while he left the kids with me, and with the lies, such as secret debts, and more bad behavior. He thought it was impossible for us to work as a family and as a couple. He said that at first he just got along with his mother-in-law and resented me for working so hard, and now he was remorseful. Olivia, who had resisted divorce, gave up and agreed to the divorce when everything was exposed. Henry was to have custody of the 3 children. Olivia said that she was devastated to be separated from her children, and that she worked part-time all day long and managed to live in an inexpensive apartment. I am sorry that the children were affected in any way by the separation, but I feel that she is just being selfish, so I do not feel any sympathy for the child. Henry lives with his in-laws and the children are taken care of by them. I knew it must be hard to watch the rambunctious children, so when I have time, I play with them while visiting my in-laws.
No, don't push yourself just because you're feeling well.
I'll be fine.
But I don't trust you're okay. Oh, do you want to take these with you? Cookies? Hey, I'm going to be a big sister.
Henry's youngest child looked at my big belly. Now I have Will's baby inside me. I said, well, when he's born, you'll have to play with him, won't you?
Yeah.
Family is about caring for and helping each other. It is also a relationship of mutual respect. But I hope that this time I can trust everyone, talk honestly with each other and support each other in times of pain, joy, and distress.